Well, if you have watched my recent videos that I covered on the skills that I've built so far, like the Ship MD skill that wraps all of the useful Claude Code commands and skills that's built into Claude Code into a structured workflow that every single feature that you ship will always follow the same pipeline and make sure everything is tested end to end. There's nothing lacking from there. And the Vibe MD skill that I covered yesterday, that was to help you provision any server that you want and have a 24/7 running development server in the cloud, or you can have it deploy servers for you as well to deploy your apps. And today, this is episode 2 of where we're building Ryu as a startup, and this is the main quest that we are essentially doing for a few, well, the next couple of weeks or even months or years that we're gonna do this for. And this is an exciting space to be in. And we'll be using one of the more important skills called Context MD, called Spec MD. And this one is useful because when I realized that I built the subsequent skills first, like the Ship MD, the Vibe MD skill, those were the ones that I got built first. I realized that the Ship MD skill is very narrow-minded and tunnel visioning. It only knows how to ship one feature, so I think it was good to split it into a different skill. And this skill is called Spec MD that allows you to break down a very big task into smaller tasks that it will use GitHub issues as well and ship everything in parallel using the Ship MD as well. So this is definitely useful and I'll show you how that works. So if you watched my previous video, I talked about how I built OpenClaw basically before OpenClaw was built, and this was pretty exciting. But what I initially built for was to sell local LLMs, because back then there was hype around the local LLMs, and you would hear that the space in the local AI is actually 6 months lagging behind like the frontier models. So if you think at the current rate, we have Mythos as one of the frontier models already, and it's not out yet. And GPT, I believe GPT is catching up as well to the Mythos level. They have something lined up for that. I'm not too sure about that as well. But if we look at the current trajectory, we are about 6 months away from a Mythos open source model. That's basically insane. So open source models will keep getting better and better, and there's just no reason to go local anymore. And with like the rug pulling of all the different providers and stuff, if you look at Claude, I'll do a separate video on this as well. If you look at all the rug pulling Claude has done, not just Claude, even Codex or the Gemini, Anti-Gravity, GitHub, there's so many now. It's just so common today, and it just doesn't make sense to use them as your primary tool now, where all your information is stored with them and then you have to pay $200 a month for those to use them. So that was where local LLMs and agents came in, which is very useful because you don't have to pay for it and it runs on your own local machine where everything is actually private and it has access to as many contexts as possible, like your workspace. You can connect to multiple apps. That was the vision that I had for Ryu initially, and this was built in like the July or August period. Well, maybe August to September period when I came back from the UK, and this was before OpenClaw. OpenClaw, I think they released in December or something. So it was pretty cool that I thought this wasn't in there at the start, but you can literally have your desktop agent Ryu connect to a Telegram bot here. If you can set it up inside of here, you can just enable it and you can just put a token and it will literally be running on the desktop. That was so cool back then. And all this didn't exist yet. If you look at the main interface, this thing doesn't even exist yet. We don't have desktop apps back then. If you look at what we have for the Claude desktop app, they have like co-work now with what they are selling as the productivity tool. That's more for general tasks, not for necessarily code anymore. Even Codex is now going towards that direction where you can do anything, even not code anymore. So it's really moving towards a space where all of these tools are starting to look the same. Look at Cursor 3.0, we don't even look at the code anymore. So whether you hate vibe coding or not, we are shifting towards the direction where you really don't look at the code anymore. And even the GitHub Copilot app, this just came out yesterday, I think. Well, it's June 2, so this was yesterday's one. And it's basically the same thing, but they rug pulled and they are switching to a token-based building instead. So this interface was definitely not common back then. I'm surprised that I came up with all of this shit and the OpenClaw shit way before everyone else did. But I didn't have time to ship it because I was in uni and it was just so busy and I didn't have the time to ship it. But because how coincidental that OpenClaw came out, and the architecture I felt was very good, that it was separated and you can host it on a Pi or a Mac Mini, which is a lot of people doing that, and even on a server as well. So I thought that architecture was good. And this one is actually built on a monolithic architecture, which was very bad in the sense that we can't have this hosted separately on like different nodes and stuff. Maybe you can have one in a Pi, one on your Mac Mini, one in the server, and you can connect to the different nodes and manage multiple ones. So maybe your personal one on your desktop might be your personal agent, and you have a company level one in the server, so you can connect to your company node. And this will be just an interface to connect to all the nodes. That was what I was thinking. And I basically just decided to mirror what they did with like the gateway and stuff. But I have decided to go one level higher of what all of the agents are doing. If you see like the different, there's so many agents now. We can see Hermes agent. This is the one that's running right now. And we have OpenClaw, of course, Claude Code, and Zero Claude. There's so many people building their own agent engines now, and we call it agent engines. What we're building is actually one step higher, where we're orchestrating this for them, because there's so many steps you need to, even just running one command in the terminal, most people wouldn't touch even a terminal in their life. And that's what we're solving here. This core layer is actually what we are orchestrating, helping them install the agent themselves, and even anything like Pi agent, we will do that as well. That's part of the core layer. And the gateway layer is actually doing one step ahead of that as its own instance, where you can do this as well. If you have like an existing agent, you can just simply replace the OpenAI compatible endpoint to this gateway endpoint. And basically with doing that, you will get memory, rack, evaluations, observability, model routing, workflows, token budgets, firewall, all built into the gateway itself. That's the coolest part of it. Just change one URL and you get access to all of this. And that's the gateway layer. So the app layer is the desktop app that I am trying to port over into this new version here that I've been doing for months and months. But this has been on a side quest for a while. So this is what we have so far, and then compare what we had here. It's like two different worlds, man. But this is a lot better because this is a lot more lightweight now, and so it's isolated, well, separated concerns into different areas here like that. So this is what we're going to be building, and there's a lot missing here. We in fact have the CLI as well. So if we go in here, we can install Llama CPP or Ollama. I want to make it possible to install multiple as well, not just one of them. And the other tools as well. Well, I collected a bunch of tools that I've been collecting over the years that's good for AI to use locally, and that will be part of View as well in the marketplace. And we'll build some like out of the box so that it's not by default anyone can use all of the useful things that it can do without having much setup. That will be what we're gonna try to do. And the agents as well. And let's install that. So we can go into the dashboard and we can start the different services. Well, it's a bit fucked right now, but definitely the base is somewhat there, and we even have the website up already. So this is the landing page. Well, it's basically like a full stack where I'm calling it the end-to-end infrastructure for AI agents, where we're essentially doing the gateway layer, the security around everything, and we can plug into multiple different entry points as well. So even if you have an existing agent, you can literally just replace one line and you will use our entire gateway. And I think the gateway might be open source as well, but I have to think about it first. But I think the core will be open source, where the orchestration layer of everything, that will be open source. And what we are essentially doing, we're just putting, well, this is all the links that I've collected so far. And these are all the useful things that we can use, like email agents and all of this that's useful for agents to combine it into one space here that we can use for View. So that's what we're going to be building. And this is only episode 2. And what we have here right now is really very bare. And a lot of it is still not there. But with like the node connectors and stuff, it's essentially already there. But a lot of it is still very lacking. And I'm still trying to figure out how we can get this to automatically test it by itself without having me to manually test it. Because it's not a Chrome where we can use computer use. This is literally a desktop app. So I really asked Claude to come up with like what it is. Well, agents are powerful, the engines exist, what we're doing, and the architecture. This is what I explained. And we're going to keep it simple first for the first iteration. And we have 3 different layers here. The cloud one is where we are going to host everything. So if you look at the core layer and the gateway layer, these are essentially Rust binaries, and they have so low memory footprint that it can be run anywhere, even on your Pi. So the principles, what the current repo is all about, the ground truth, what works today and what doesn't exist yet, and what the gap is, and what is the priority of everything. So what I'm going to do here is use the new context, well, the Spec MD skill to do the spec of this. So I'm just going to do that. And hopefully you should come up with a bunch of useful GitHub issues to come up with, break down this very big task into small GitHub issues and phases to build this entire thing from wherever we're gonna do. What do we want to build or change? It's weird that it already knows what's going on here. I think it got the reference from the agent MD, which is weird. It might not be like the full picture as well. Well, I'm gonna commit everything first. And I don't know why is all this part of the commit. Why is Python in here? Well, I think the agent decided to do that. I don't know why it decided to do that. That's pretty dumb. I think there was a MCP that I can use to debug Tori locally. Let me see if I can find that. Well, I think it might be this one or this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. Let me install it, and then this should hopefully work. Well, I might actually try out the dynamic workflows as well. That might be a good option. Yes. Okay, it's installed. Let me just exit and then reload the plugins. It should be in, I think. It's here. It's connecting. It seems pretty fucked, man. Maybe I'll restart this. If we look at MCP again, that should work. I don't know why is it connecting, man. But the rest is also connecting, so I'll just leave it. Can you look at the current state of what we have versus what the end goal of real is? You can use the NTN, Notion CLI, to look at the current, what the vision is, like especially like the latest pitch decks and stuff. Those are very useful references of what we want this to be built. I think one of the key differences is, what I realized is, the Llama CPP and the old Llama, I can't install both of them in parallel. So I need like a way to like set my local engine as whatever. Maybe for like different agents, can set like this agent is using this engine. Maybe something like that. I can have like multiple agents as well, because the core is the orchestration layer here. And that's what makes this useful. The gateway has all the built-in stuff like if you look at the architecture and all of it in the Notion CLI, there's multiple layers of the gateway as well. One is the user level, the local level, and there's a higher level of the gateway. So this is not an exactly simple thing to build. You really need to take everything into consideration for this to really be specced out properly. So these are all the skills that we built so far, and the one that we're covering in this video is the Spec MD one that is being done right now. We used to have the ship and the vibe only, and then I expanded to Party MD as well, and Replay MD. And then I started building Spec and Context MD, and then the Sandbox MD and Fix MD. So this is the one that we're doing. This will pipe back to ship, and then you'll use the server that you have to, well, basically ship out the features. And Party MD takes it over here by using GitHub issues as the main interface. So I guess it's kind of similar as well of how everything is linked. You can see the chart here, how everything is linked. So it's quite simple, I would say, this flow. It's exploring. And well, it's the same loop that it's doing in the ship MD skill, and it decomposes into better, smaller units. And this is basically called atomic units here. Atomic is basically the smallest possible level to split tasks into, and then we confirm the spec, and then yeah, we use GitHub issues, create GitHub issues using the CLI, and the spec, whether it's done, it will use ship to ship it out. Whether you want to do it in the cloud, you can use Party MD. And that's how everything binds together. So it has done exploration, I think, and it has come up with like the to-do list using the built-in Claude to-do lists, which it doesn't use it by default, but my skills always forces it to use it. And I'm surprised that they have this block feature as well, blocked by which task. I didn't know this existed before until I saw it now. I've never seen this block feature before, the dependency on the previous task for it to complete before the next one can complete. It has come up with some questions here. When you try to have Llama and Ollama both going, what actually breaks? Well, nothing breaks actually. Nothing breaks actually. It's just that it's not there. The way to install it is not there. Like the current way of installing it, it only allows you to install one at a time. That's the thing there. Given that, how should a local engine behave when multiple agents want different local engines? Well, they should coexist. I think matching the VRAM constraint should be the thing. It's putting an offerent, a real gateway on the request path, part of this spec or follow-on. Well, it's basically everything. Yes, GitHub issues. But also build every single thing that's missing right now, not just the local AI agent part. I want you to build every single thing that's not already inside as compared to what we have in the vision. We have to build the entire app. That's my whole point. Alright, I'll send that in. Hopefully you'll figure that out. So it has come up with all of the issues to build the entire app, well, the entire real vision here. And it has come up with like 36 atomic units across 9 milestones. And the different, well, the ROI, the different phases here, what type is it? It has come up with all of that. So basically this is spec-driven development, but this skill is specifically for breaking down into smaller spec, which is like the good thing here. And you don't even have to use this if you're just shipping like basic features. You can just use the ship MD skill. And what this does is basically I can just ship one at a time and in parallel as well. That would be good. So now it's doing that and creating the GitHub issues. So it has done with all of the things. It's saying that the spec is complete. The latest pitch stacks map them against the actual code, turn the entire app into a dependency ordered GitHub backlog. The epic down number of units, milestones, assumptions, the repo, the 3 decisions that shaped it, local engines binding lives in the core, routing is the gateway job, multiple gateway layers, data plane versus control plane, and the ship order. Well, I'm just gonna start building every single thing in sequence now, but that concludes the video here. If you look at the GitHub issues, it has created all of the GitHub issues from that skill. So this definitely works. This skill is definitely useful if you want to break down a very big task into multiple, well, basically following spec-driven development, then this is the skill to use. And that concludes this video. I'm just gonna let it use the ship MD skill and ship it off stream and see how it goes. And we'll try out some of the other skills as well in future videos. I'll cover some of the other skills as well, like the replay skill and the party MD skill. That one is pretty exciting, that you don't even need an interface with like Claude anymore to even build features anymore, because it's all on your server. So definitely try this skill out and let me know what you think. If you have any issues with the skill, you can report it on GitHub as well.